Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy, and I want to talk about a catastrophic event in the campaign of Vivek Ramaswamy, and that is the announcement that on the January 10th, 2024 CNN Des Moines, Iowa debate, Vivek Ramaswamy will not be on stage, right? And CNN has declared that he has not qualified, right? So first of all, that's the what, okay? So Vivek Ramaswamy will not be in the next Republican debate, okay? So let's start asking some questions about this, okay? So one, is that bad for Vivek? It is catastrophically bad. It is very bad. It makes Vivek the same as Donald Trump, a sad sack who couldn't make the debate, right? Who could not overcome the obstacles to be in the debate. The obstacle for President Donald Trump is he's 80 and he sucks now because he can, he's exactly like Biden. Sometimes he can finish the sentence, sometimes he can't, right? Vivek, right? What was his failure? What is he failing to do? It's not his age, right? That is what actually what President Donald Trump is failing to do, is realize that there's a question, a real life question. Can an 80-year-old person be president? The answer is unmitigatedly no. We ran the experiment. It turned out like tears and flames. No 80-year-old should ever be president again. And honestly, this was a ridiculous experiment to run to begin with. The question was, can the hardest job in the world be held by someone who the government has agreed to pay for 15 years to retire, right? And so that should be answered. Would you go into your backyard and ask your grandpa to chop all the wood? No, you would not, right? So why on earth are we saying that why on earth are we pretending that that this is wise? It is unwise. Like 80-year-old people should not have the should not have the hardest job in the world. It is ridiculously absurd. This experiment has failed. And so President Donald Trump just is failing to recognize that his body and his mind and his spirit are not up for the task, because no 80-year-old's body, mind, and spirit are up for the task. And this is a failed experiment, and we're refusing to accept science at this point. I think that's what President Donald Trump is doing. What did Vivek Ramaswamy fail to do? He failed, like every other, right? Like every other person of color in the history of America, in 246 years of our history, he failed to climb the ward wall. If you are not Ward Cleaver, if you are not Ward, and you are not male, this country refuses to put you in power. Only one man in the history in 246 years of American history, only one man has climbed to the top of that wall, stood on that wall, and scaled down the other side. His name is Barack Obama, and when he scaled that wall, I helped him twice. I elected President Obama twice. All right? Now the question, and what we're now seeing, is that Vivek Ramaswamy was the best candidate by far in 2023 for the Republicans, and the Republican Party and the Republican people of America are saying we suck compared to Democrats when it comes to fairness and non-prejudiceness, fairness and harmony and unity. And the Republican Party to at the 51% level and at the official Republican level is like Ward only, baby. Ward only. If you're not Ward, you have no place here, right? And that's the issue. Is Vivek Ramaswamy failed to scale the Ward bulwark, right? This gigantic wall that Americans have that says, if you are not Ward, you don't get real power. President Barack Obama did it once, okay? Am I ashamed of Vivek Ramaswamy? Absolutely not. He had an incredible run, right? But make no mistake, this is a catastrophic, absolutely catastrophic event for the Vivek Ramaswamy camp, right? It is going to be nearly impossible to overcome this. Can it be overcome? Yes. Can Vivek Ramaswamy overcome it? No. Can you and I overcome it? No. Who can overcome it? Father Time. There is only one thing that can give us the right president for America right now. One event. Only one event. Okay? I'm going to give you my humble opinion on what it is. Father Time is undefeated. Okay? If, President Donald Trump is 80 years old, right? If he fell in a pine box tomorrow because one foot has been on a banana peel for a year and a half, right? Because he's under more strain than any 80-year-old probably in the history of all humanity, right? Like that ticker, man, like that brain under incredible strain, right? Father Time is undefeated, right? If President Donald Trump fell in a pine box from his age, right? Age overcame him. No one would be surprised. No one, when an 80-year-old falls in a pine box, nobody's like, oh, what happened? Like, everybody's like, well, yeah, that's, of course, that's, what's expected of an 80-year-old? To fall in a pine box, not to lead the world. Like, that's just general science, right? Like, they'll be like, oh, my goodness, what happened? Like, no investigation would be launched, right? Like, 80-year-old fell in a pine box is exactly what's supposed to happen. At least it's a natural occurrence, right? Like, it's just what happens, right? Like, so that's the only fate can deliver Vivek Ramaswamy a win, right? And if Father Time comes because of his age, comes for Donald Trump, whole board changes. Whole country is in a moment of chaos. I think Vivek Ramaswamy could manage that chaos and come out on top. But I think that's the only path to victory at this point. That is my humble opinion. Every word you just heard is nothing more and nothing less than my humble opinion. What's important is when I hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.